Welcome to the first episode of Kerbal Skill Issue, a brand new series where I'm trying to do some space stuff, and you can watch me fail terribly. And in the first episode already, I want to challenge this guy, the space guy himself, made this thingy. Don't get me wrong, he's an absolute genius. He got people to the moon, and most importantly, he got them back safely. 6 times. But there's this tiny issue. You see, you've got this behemoth of a rocket, but by the end of the mission, you're left with a minuscule tin can. You can say that this is an enormous waste of taxpayer money, and you'll be absolutely correct. So what I want to address is its efficiency. After hundreds of highly questionable design changes, I present to you 100% reusable Saturn V Remastered, the KSP edition. I tried to keep the flight profile as close as possible to the original. The first stage, powered by 5 Mastodon engines, is going to get us halfway to the low carbon orbit. As soon as it uses up all its fuel, we'll ditch it and deploy its parachutes, so it's going to splash down safely. Separation confirmed. Let's assume it's gonna be fine. Now the second stage, powered by 4 Wolfhound engines, will do the remaining ascent and circularize our orbit. This time simply parachuting it won't do. That's why it has a probe core, so it can deorbit on its own. We're gonna try aiming it as close as possible to the KSC, and after that it'll deploy its parachutes. I didn't bother myself with SpaceX power style landing, even though it would have been so much cooler. And we have a touchdown. In the woods, kilometers away from KSC. But let's get back to the orbit. The third stage, powered by 1 Wolfhound, will get us all the way to the Moon. Instead of placing the third stage on the collision course, the remastered edition will perform a flyby. And now, it's time to reveal the updated command module. Well, it's stuck. But fear not, a little burn will do the job. Yeah, I guess I have some explaining to do. As you can see, the landing module is in the middle of the command module. This will complicate the docking procedure, but this way it will be easier to return to Kerbin. Speaking of Kerbin, look how beautiful it is moving away from us. We've finally arrived to the Moon. Let's park this thing here and return to the third stage. First we want to circularize around Kerbin so that we could aim to the KSC, and also slow it down, because I'm not really sure how this thing will handle the re-entry. Unfortunately, I've missed the deorbit burn because I ran out of power. The second time was more successful, but we landed again, in the woods, even further away from our destination. Let's get back to the Moon. After transferring Jebediah and Bob to the lander module, let's undock it and back away. Now we're go for landing. The landing itself went without a hitch. And here Jebediah Kerman goes, planting our flag on the surface of the Moon, admiring these alien landscapes. And here goes Bob, taking a surface sample and returning back inside. Jebediah follows him shortly after. Now we wait for the command module to return. But then, things start to go wrong. During their ascent, the crew heard the sound that no one wants to hear. Engine flame out. We're already too fast to land again, but not fast enough to be in orbit. Brave Kerbals had to fight for their lives, and fight for their lives they did. There's still a lot of RCS fuel left. Maybe that's enough to reach an orbit. And thankfully it was. Now it was up to Bill, who was waiting in the command module to rendezvous with them. Lander is docked. It's time to go home. But Bill is no pilot. He ended up using too much fuel, so we'll have to do multiple aerobraking passes to reach the safe re-entry speed, because unfortunately this craft doesn't have a lot of thermal protection. And once again we've landed in the woods. But I think it's still easier to go for a ride and grab all those stages than building a new vehicle from the ground up. Thank you very much for watching. Consider leaving a like and subscribing. Stay tuned for more Kerbal Skill Issue.